Alright, so this is Isaiah Simmons. Isaiah, I think I remember you. I think you were a year older than Kuhn and Arnott. I could be wrong, but I feel like I remember who you are. I didn't look you up, but I feel like I remember your name. And then I want everybody to know this is the first time I've really done a comparison. So I don't know how well I'm going to do with this. Isaiah, if I if I feel like I didn't do a good job, I'm gonna do another one of just your good throw. So here we are. I think the top one's the big throw. The top video is your big throw. The bottom video is your foul, I think. Let's see. Yeah, so top is your big throw. Okay. So I always love watching throwers and how consistent you are with that feel of ritual and movement. Um, so his bottom throw is one you're fouling on. No, he fouled on purpose. He didn't actually foul. He just didn't finish his throw and connect on it. So let's see. You got a pretty equal right here. So you're picking up. This is what I want to look at here and here. Okay, so you're just a little past 90. Maybe you might be a little earlier on that big throw. It seems, Isaiah, you've got a pretty wide sweep, high sweep, which I saw Darrell Hill was at my gym yesterday throwing, and I told him I don't necessarily dislike this high and wide, but I think the downfall of it is that a lot of guys get caught up in the front, and to get out of the front, they have to jump, and I don't like the jump in the finish. So I don't mind this high and wide sweep leg, but like I said to Darrell, I said I if it was right, high and wide, down tight, it should be. So high and wide, down tight. So it's sort of like I like this boom down right sooner. So like Raven Saunders has a high, she has a very similar sweep to you here, Isaiah, but she gets down faster. She's in zero support for a very short period of time. Like here at the top, you're in the air for quite a bit of time here. Almost 4 frames. Almost similar time. Now, the one thing I like, Isaiah, I like your foot placement here. I like that in the middle or a little bit to the right. And you're in a pretty good position. And even here it looks pretty good. I actually think, I don't know if it's just me, but I feel like the top you're a little more wrapped up. Now, I think you could focus on getting that left foot a little higher. You got that 3 o'clock touchdown, it seems. That's pretty good. I like that. Now, one thing I'm going to say here, you look pretty freaking similar in these positions. I think the top one, you you've got a little bit more torque here. Shots back a hair deeper. If you see, and this could also be the camera angle, but I actually think this is the difference between the two throws. I think the top throw here, the shot's back pretty well, and the bottom throw, it's a little more in line with that toe. Whereas in the top one, it's behind the foot a little bit, so you've got that right shoulder locked up a little bit better. So that's up till this point. Like, I think one of the only things I'm going to tell you that I would fix here is that this here should come down sooner. Like, I think you could. So what's happening here with the right, or with your left, is you're pushing off too much out of the back with that left, and then that's causing that left to, it's causing you to jump, so it's causing you to elevate your hips too much. And you can see that. You can see that right here. You can sort of watch your hips really rise, and your left foot goes super high. So that left foot could have gotten down a little bit sooner if you're not pushing off so much out of the back. And you're doing that in this throw as well. I just think you caught this throw back a little bit more, and then you're amped up from everybody, giving you the clap. And not the STD, but the actual freaking awesome track clap, which is one of my favorite parts about throwing. Now here's what I was talking about, is that because you get so tightened up at the front, you never really get into this left leg here. So I think that's one of my big issues, is that a lot of you guys, especially collegiates, you come out of the back and you have that big wide sweep, and then you get this jump or a little hop out of the back, and you hop too much, you push out off the left out of the back too much, then your hips rise, and then your left heel gets too high. If you watch Reese Hoffa out of the back, he really gets down on it in the middle, and that left leg comes down, and he gets on a flat foot. Isaiah, you're never on a flat foot, because as soon as your left hits, you got to jump out of it. So that by jump, I mean, you're already off the cement here, and the shot's out of your hand. So you're not capable of applying any more force into that shot, even though it's still in your hand. The only force, there's going to be no extra force in comparison with what you've already generated. Whereas right now you could still be grounded and applying a hair more power. It might only be a couple inches, but as soon as you get off that, you cannot accelerate the shot anymore. And that's my problem with that high right, is that a lot of guys tend to get caught up at the front. Here, this is one reason why this might have felt better. I actually think you're still on the ground here, more so than this throw. Like, I think your right's already off the ground in the top one, and the bottom one you're still down. Certainly the left, you can really see the left's up in the air. The left here is still grounded. So I think the bottom throw really has something to do with that your upper body wasn't as responsive to your left side in that throw. I think you were a little wired up from the clap. And so what happens, and you can really see this in both of these throws, and this was the first thing I thought. What I teach is I want guys to sit on that left leg so that your right shoulder can rotate around that left a little bit more. So you actually sit and then go forward. And if you watch Reese Hoffa, everybody tells him, "Oh, your throws are flat. Your throws are flat." Shut up! Like, that guy throws far because he sits on his left at the front and finishes properly. He's thrown more 21-meter throws than anyone ever. Why are you telling him to start? He's got to lift it more. He's got to lift it more. No, he doesn't, dude. He's freaking so good. So, like, that's the one thing, is that him and Rhodey and, Adam Nelson has a weird spin, but his finish, everybody can take something from his finish. He's on that left forever. He sits on his left leg. He's not jumping. It's a fantastic finish. So I think that's the whole thing on both of these, Isaiah, is that you tend to jump here and you don't actually end up finishing. That's why everything's coming down the right sector. If you could sit on this left foot more, sit on it, and let those shoulders rotate a little bit more, and in that extra grounding, it's just a little bit extra time, not much. You can apply a little bit more force, and now you're not jumping out of it in the finish, and you that little extra force could get you to 1920, 1930 on this specific throw. This is 1870, and still very. I mean, obviously it's a freaking good throw, but I think that's where you can really fix this. Oops. Is by not elevating the hips out of the back, not raising that left foot so high. Get that right tighter, and then let that. And when the left leg gets grounded, when this left leg gets grounded here at the front, grounded. I mean, just look at how it's down, and it should be down, 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 down. It should still be down. Should still be down. Now it should be off. It should still be down now, and then you save it. So if you watch, like I think, dude, I think you're in 1920, 1950 shape right now. So I want to watch this top one again. I love this reaction, man. Yeah, that's awesome. So right here, I'll go over everything and then I'll play it one more time. Right, tighter down, come down on it, come down on it. Don't let that left heel, your left heel's too high right there. Let that left heel lower so that the left can get down quicker. When that left gets grounded, sit down, down, sit down, sit down, sit down. Rotate on around that flat left. It's still got to be grounded now, out. And you're going to add some big throws to that. But yeah, good job. Good job attacking the finish, man, getting after it. I do like how you wrap up. I actually I sort of like this with your left arm here. Your left arm looks good. You almost look like Kovacs. I think Kovacs does a great job with that position right there. So it's that left side, you're doing a really good job. But everything else, I think you could work on a couple little things, but you're pretty close.